Hello, everybody, and welcome to Maroons Tuesday Night Live here from Mac and Bob's in downtown Salem, Virginia. I'm Richmond Bramlett, joined by Brett Peltier. And on tonight's Tuesday, September 4th show, we have Roanoke Volleyball head coach Blair Trail, senior softball baseball coach Matt McGuire, soccer and track senior Carmen Graves, cross country and track and field head coach Finn Pincus, women's soccer coach Phil Binney, men's soccer coach and athletic director Scott Allison, and strength and conditioning coach Dave Sampson with workhorses of the week.
The men's soccer team opened the season with a record of 1-1 after hosting the Roanoke Soccer Invitational. The Maroons defeated Gwinnett Mercy College 6-1 in the opening contest, seeing goals from 6 individual players: Robert Finn, A.J. Tierce, Carl Least, Brian White, Johnny Hughes, and Nicholas Stauffenberg all found the back of the net with a 297th win career-wise for coach Scott Allison. In the second game, the Maroons ran into a tough number 22 ranked Newman University. Roanoke held Newman scoreless in the first half of the game, but in the second period, Newman netted 2 goals to take the victory.
And on to the women's soccer team, who was also slated to host 2 home games this past weekend during the Roanoke Invitational, but only got 1 in due to lightning. In the game they did play, the Maroons fell to Fredonia State University 1-0 on Friday, August 31st. The Maroons held off Fredonia for 84 minutes until the Blue Devils scored the game-winning goal at Kerr Stadium.
The field hockey team opened up their season with a record of 0-3, but not without some bright moments in the opening contest. The Maroons fell 3-1 to McDaniel on Saturday. Roanoke's lone goal came from Kelly Finn after receiving a pass from Marceline Peak to pull the Maroons within 1. In 3 games, Dorian Shooker tallied 27 saves in 175 minutes of play.
On to the volleyball team, who's coming out of the Averett Invitational over the holiday weekend, and they returned with a record of 1-3, earning their victory over Peace College. They defeated Peace in 4 sets, 17-25, 25-22, 25-17, and 26-24. Samantha Toy led the team with 17 assists, and Shannon Stone had 12. Mackenzie Tyree had 21 of her 68 digs in this contest that they won. Tyree was also named to the all-tournament team for her play in the Averett Invitational.
The Roanoke men's and women's cross-country team completed in the Eastern Mennonite University Invitational on Friday, August 31st. The men's team finished second with 82 points, while the women came in fifth of 9 teams. Senior Tim Smith led the men, taking the top overall finish for the meet. Smith crossed the line with a time of 27 minutes, 41 seconds. Harrison Tony took 5th place in the meet with a time of 29:33. On the women's side, 2011 ODAC Rookie of the Year, Grace England, took a 3rd place finish with a time of 25:12. Leah Schimmelder's time was 27:53 for 23rd place finish. And just announced today, Tim Smith was named ODAC Cross Country Runner of the Week for his performance in the EMU Invitational.
And we're here with Brett Peltier. Brett's new to the show, but he's not new to broadcasting here in the Roanoke Valley. Brett, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your history here?
22 years in radio, at mostly at WFIR, also at what was called WPVR and is now Star Country, and some of the other stations in the Wheeler Broadcasting chain, what is now the Wheeler Broadcasting chain. When I started working there, it was owned by Jim Gibbons, who, interestingly, he made his money by doing Notre Dame football and Redskins football in the 60s, so that was his background.
And you're no stranger to Roanoke College sports. You've been around watching sports for a long time, actually doing play-by-play now for all of our sports, but over the last couple of years been doing color commentary for women's basketball.
That's correct.
So, and if you ever catch Brett, Brett has plenty of stories that he can tell you off the air about the radio business. But we're glad to have you here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, and Brett will be back in just one moment with volleyball head coach Blair Trail. Stay with us.
Mac and Bob's opened for business in 1980. Over the years, we've grown from 10 stools to a full-service restaurant that seats 330 people. Now we invite you to come try our new breakfast menu, featuring sweet potato pancakes, eggs Benedict, omelets made to order, stuffed French toast, homemade sausage and gravy biscuits, and much more. Open for breakfast Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m., Sunday brunch 10 a.m. till 2. See you for breakfast at Mac and Bob's in Salem.
Welcome back to Maroons Tuesday Night Live. I'm here with volleyball coach Blair Trail. Coach Trail, welcome.
Thank you.
And the ODAC looks to be a very competitive league this season. Can you talk a little bit about the depth of the conference?
The ODAC is a very strong conference in volleyball. The top 10 teams are always vying for one of the top 4 positions. It's really, who shows up what day. We've seen lots of upsets in the last 2 years with the 8 and 9 team beating 1 and 2 and so forth.
Talk about some of your returning players and leaders for the season, your upperclassmen.
We have 3 starting returners, one being Samantha Klosterman, who, again, will see plenty of playing time in the outside position, and Shannon Stone, both of them being captains. Shannon, again, it's her senior season, will be running the offense as our setter, and we'll have sophomore Sarah Long back leading the middle for us.
And talk about your recruiting class, some of your newcomers.
Yeah, we have 6 freshmen and 2 transfers joining us this year. We have Mackenzie Tyree coming in from Carson Newman and the University of Tennessee, and Macy Tyree transferring from Virginia Tech. We have Alexander Martin from locally here from Roanoke, Virginia, North Cross School. Rachel Kalinsky from New Jersey, and Samantha Toy running our offense along with Shannon Stone. They've seen quite a bit of playing time just in this past weekend.
And you just returned from the Averett Invitational over the holiday weekend. You talk about the positive things you saw from your team and the things you'd like to work on.
A lot of energy and enthusiasm. We had to overcome a little adversity this weekend. 2 of our starters were battling some injuries, and the girls were able to come in and step it up from the get-go. I expect for them to be impact players from the beginning.
Mackenzie Tyree was honored with all-tournament team this past weekend at the Averett Invitational. Talk a little bit about her performance.
She's a very aggressive libero. She leads our defense. She is a court captain for us. She's always letting our hitters know where the openings are, where to hit the ball. No ball hits the ground without her getting a hand on it.
And you're looking for the ODAC opener tomorrow night again at the Bass Center when your team takes on Lynchburg College at 6:30. Talk about what kind of opponent Lynchburg's going to be for you.
Lynchburg is always a very strong team. They're one of our rivals. They're very aggressive. They jump serve quite a bit, and their hitters are very, very strong. So I expect it to be a tough match. They come out and they put the pressure on from the very beginning, but I think we're ready for them.
And we'll be right back. Coach Trail, thanks very much. We'll be right back on Maroons Tuesday Night Live with softball player Leona Rainey.
Be sure to catch Roanoke College sports on Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7 in Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, Lexington, and Blacksburg. Brought to you by Mac and Bob's, Main Street, Salem. For programming information or schedules, go to valleyvisiontv.com.
To the show, Leona. You're entering your senior year at Roanoke College. What about the school made you want to play softball here?
Well, I definitely would say the scenery was a huge part, and then meeting with the coaches and always talking about academics and all that stuff really opened my eyes to that softball's not the only thing in my life. So they tried to help me pick a school that I could be academically inclined and also play softball. So that was a huge factor.
You had 13-game winning streak last year, including the ODAC championship, a regional championship, a victory over number 1 Emory. Talk about that magical time.
I mean, it still brings smiles to our face. We talk about it all the time. We text back and forth talking about all last year, and I think a lot of it had to do with the team chemistry, and we all wanted to be there, and it was just a game to us. We were those little kids on that field playing the game that we loved. So.
And one of the many bright spots came out of the 2012 softball season was the fact that your team was going just off one arm the entire time. Talk about how Kelly Higbee helped you in the circle.
She was definitely our anchor last year. I mean, she went out every game knowing whether she was tired, sore, hurt. She pitched every inning, every pitch, every game for the year. That just says something about her right there, that she's a soldier. She wants to be there. She wants to help the team win. She wants to help the team succeed. So she's just definitely a rare find. So I'm happy, and I know the team's happy that we were able to scoop her up.
And the last, you led the team the ODAC 2 years in a row, and a two-time NFCA All-American. Talk about playing center field, captain the outfield.
Definitely here, you do hear a lot about the center fielder is the captain of the outfield, but here at Roanoke, it's everybody works together in the outfield. If I'm doing something wrong, my two girls beside me will tell me to shift or move, and if we see something different about a batter, that we just tell each other and we communicate on a regular basis between every pitch. So that's definitely why our outfield is so successful compared to a lot of other teams. Yeah.
And you rank second all time in NCAA history in consecutive successful stolen bases, a record that's still ongoing. You're quite an offensive weapon. What do you think you bring to the team offensively?
Well, as a leadoff batter, you want to get on and score runs. So definitely our goal is that if I get on, we score, we win. So that's like the team mentality, first inning, first pitch.
And for all that you can tell, the softball team seems to be a pretty cohesive unit on and off the field. What are you looking for next spring for the softball team?
Well, I mean, obviously we can't expect the same team chemistry as we did last year. It's a different group of girls, different year. So just go out and bond as a team, and that's all we can really do, and hope for the best.
Okay. And you're also working in Sports Information Office this semester with Brad Moore. Talk a little bit about the work you're doing with marketing and promotions.
Well, I just recently started. I'm only a couple weeks in, so just working with getting the school more involved, the different school organizations involved in athletics and the community as a whole, as well as like youth organizations. So I'm just definitely eager to keep going and see what the rest of the semester holds.
Okay. Well, we wish you a great senior year, Leona. Thanks for joining us. And we'll be back right here on Tuesday Night Live from Mac and Bob's.
Mac and Bob's opened for business in 1980. Over the years, we've grown from 10 stools to a full-service restaurant that seats 330 people. Now we invite you to come try our new breakfast menu, featuring sweet potato pancakes, eggs Benedict, omelets made to order, stuffed French toast, homemade sausage and gravy biscuits, and much more. Open for breakfast Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m., Sunday brunch 10 a.m. till 2. See you for breakfast at Mac and Bob's in Salem.
Welcome back to Maroons Tuesday Night Live from Mac and Bob's with new baseball coach Matt McGuire. Matt, we want to welcome you to Roanoke College. You're not a stranger to the area. You went to William Byrd High School and William and Mary. Talk about your familiarity with the Roanoke Valley area in baseball.
Well, playing here and growing up in the Valley, I'm very familiar with a lot of the coaches in the area and a lot of the traditions of the high schools. Baseball in this area is very, very good. It has been for a long time, and it's going to be one of our main priorities to make sure we do our best in recruiting the kids in this area.
And you stayed involved in the game after playing. What is a big thrill for you with college baseball? What do you like about the game?
The biggest thing I love about coaching college baseball is just the time you get to spend with the kids, developing those personal relationships with them, being able to teach a game, and other than that is just absolutely just competing, working every day with the guys and competing on a daily basis.
And what do you expect to bring to the Roanoke College baseball program?
I'm going to bring energy, discipline, work ethic, and just an absolute passion for the game. I've always had that from an early age, and that's one thing that's going to be brought to the Roanoke College baseball program.
Okay. And you're familiar with the ODAC coming from Randolph-Macon. Can you talk about the quality of the league and what you forecast for the upcoming season?
The ODAC is one of the best baseball conferences on the East Coast. From top to bottom, there's no weak teams, and now you're talking about bringing in a regional power and the national power of Shenandoah University right up the road in Winchester, who's been to 4 straight regional berths, been to 2 World Series. So the ODAC is right up there with the conference out there in Wisconsin, and the NJAC up in New Jersey is probably one of the top conferences in the East Coast.
And what excites you about coaching young men?
Just to be able to help them develop personally, just to see them grow as students and people and athletes. That's the most rewarding thing, is being able to coach, especially kids at this level. It's a sheer joy.
And Coach McGuire, once again, we'd like to welcome you to Roanoke College, and glad to have you here. And good luck in the spring.
Thank you very much.
Nice to have you. And we'll be back with Carmen Graves, and this is Tuesday Night Live from Mac and Bob's.
Beautiful is the only way I could describe Roanoke's campus. The Blue Ridge Mountains offer a breathtaking backdrop to historic brick buildings and sprawling walkways. From the moment you step on campus, you can't help but notice Roanoke's friendly atmosphere. The cozy layout of campus encourages a tight-knit sense of community. Walking from my dorm to class takes no more than a few minutes, so getting places is never a hassle in any weather. The traditional architecture of the buildings and arrangement of campus around 2 main quads gives Roanoke a classic college feel. During any time of year, you can find students hanging out on campus. Roanoke is so comforting and welcoming that it's virtually impossible not to feel at home here. My favorite place on campus is the bench under the bell tower because it's a great place to relax or read a book.
I love the campus here at Roanoke. When I first visited, it felt right to me. It's the way I picture college in my mind. There are lots of classic-looking buildings with big columns, brick paths, and lots of big, old trees. I like the way the older buildings convey a sense of history, and the newer buildings reflect that style, but are more modern. My favorite spot on campus is the front quad in front of the admin building because I really enjoy the open spaces here. During the warmer months, everyone is outside studying, throwing a football around, or just hanging out.
Welcome back to Maroons Tuesday Night Live from Mac and Bob's, and I'm with Carmen Graves, a track athlete and also women's soccer player. We usually ask every student athlete that comes on the show this question, but how have you enjoyed your time at Roanoke College, and what made you choose to come here?
Yeah, I've been asked this a lot of times. What made me choose Roanoke? It kind of chose me. My dad looked into it, and then I got recruited for soccer, so just kind of worked out.
You were ODAC Track Runner of the Year for both indoor and outdoor track. That's quite an accomplishment. Talk a little bit about the training that goes into earning that honor.
I like to live by the quote, work hard and win easy, and that's exactly what I did. I just went out there, put in the hard work, and got a lot out of it.
And you're just coming off a 4th place finish in the NCAA Track and Field Championship in the 800 meters. How special is it to be able to compete on the national stage?
It's a great honor to compete at the national level. Just running with amazing girls and to be grouped with those girls is awesome. And also just the support that I got from everyone. And being able to represent Roanoke College and my family and also my hometown, Christiansburg, was amazing.
And last season, the women's soccer team advanced to the NCAA tournament, just the 4th time in school history. Talk a little bit about that special feeling in going over to center.
It was awesome because it was my first time going to the NCAAs playing soccer. It was even better to be able to go with what I call like my teammates and my friends. We have a lot of returners this year that went to the NCAA, so hopefully we'll get another bid. And it was special to just experience that with my teammates and my friends.
And talk a little bit more about some of those teammates. It is a team sport. A lot of special work goes into it.
We do have 7 returning seniors. They are awesome. And just that experience, that senior experience, I think that's going to help us a lot this year. Since freshman year, we call ourselves the Wolf Pack, and that's just because we have each other's backs on and off the field.
And after having a taste of the national stage last year, you must be looking forward to possibly going back. And how do you size up the competition in the conference?
In the conference, it's usually the same every year. We're all on the same level. It's usually Roanoke, Lynchburg College, WNL, and Washington Lee and Virginia Wesleyan. And we all are basically on the same level. It's just who can rise to the occasion in that game and on that particular day.
And you're getting ready to head to the Schellenberger Classic this weekend at Lynchburg. What are you expecting this weekend, the 2 games against Averett and Kenyon?
I don't know much about Kenyon College, but Averett, I think we played them. It should be 2 good games. I like going in not really knowing how the other team plays. It makes for a more interesting match.
Well, thank you for joining us, Carmen, and good luck with your senior year in both soccer and track and field. It's a pleasure to have you here at Roanoke College. And Richmond Bramlett will return with track and field coach and cross-country coach Dr. Finn Pincus. This is Tuesday Night Live from Mac and Bob's.
And we're back here at Mac and Bob's for Roanoke Tuesday Night Live, and we're here with head cross-country and track and field coach Finn Pincus. Finn, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
Good. Glad to have you here.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's been a while since you've been on the show. And the 2011-2012 team season was pretty outstanding for your cross-country and track and field teams. The women's indoor and outdoor track teams were ODAC champions, and the men's had great performances in their own right. What does the 2011-2012 year say about the track and cross-country program here at Roanoke College?
Well, our indoor and outdoor season cover a very long time, and indoor season is pretty lengthy because it starts with one meet in early December and finishes in late February, and then we head straight into outdoor, and there's even some overlap. And in order to be good at both indoor and outdoor, you have to be very durable, you have to be very patient, and you also have to be able to stick with it over a long period of time. And I think that's something that we were able to have our athletes do, and they were willing to work hard to make it a lengthy season. To win the indoor and outdoor conference championships on the women's side, that's something that we don't take for granted. Outdoors, that was our 6th time in 7 years. And when we win it, we are pleased. But I like to think that, looking at that season in comparison with other seasons, it was good. But I would like to get back to that level of competition that we had, say 2, 3, 4 years ago. Sure. When we were going to the NCAA championships, not with just one individual, but with a group, and sure. Not where you're hoping that one person will do well, but that you will place hopefully in the top 10 at the NCAA. So, yeah, it was a very good year in one perspective, but I guess our standards are pretty high, and so we want to do very, very well. In terms of the guys, our conference is very, very competitive, and we have several athletes who were very good in our conference and in our region. But it's a search and find to find more athletes on the men's side that can help us be more competitive. So overall, a very good year. But again, it's a matter of finding strong athletes who are willing to work hard over a long period of time so that we can be good not just during one indoor and outdoor season, but over the long period and also at the NCAA level.
Sure, I know you all are hard workers. I see you all in the Bass Center all the time. At least that part of your workout seems hard enough for me, let alone the people who are actually trying to compete in NCAA action. Now, Brett just talked to Carmen Graves, and can you talk a little bit about how hard she works and what it means to have a competitor in the NCAA track and field championships?
Well, first, I think it's wonderful that at Roanoke and at other Division III schools, someone can compete on one athletic team and do another without coaches competing for that person's time. Because Carmen is so dedicated, during the summers she's running, which helps her for both sports. During soccer, I know she's one of the hardest workers on her team. And at the same time, she's getting in runs when they have days off. When Coach Benny gives them a day off, she'll come over and she'll get on the track and run, which is certainly that catches the attention of our younger athletes. And when she goes home for Christmas, she's putting in a lot of running so that that what some people would conceive as a break from running is really not a break from running because of the hard work during the soccer that also carries over to her track and field. And so she makes up for that time that is not exactly track and field, but she's working very hard at soccer and at every other opportunity when they have a day off or spring breaks, fall breaks, Christmas and summer, she's getting in a good amount of running.
Now, you're coming off the first cross-country meet of the season. The men and women had very strong performances. Men took second, women took fifth. Can you talk a little bit about the preseason leading up into that meet and what kind of training consists for your cross-country runners?
Okay. When the students have let me know they're going to compete on our team, I give them a suggested running plan for the summer. This is a plan that I can give to them, but I cannot force them to do it. I cannot have them report to me, and I can't make them do it. They've got to want to do it on their own. But we are fortunate to have a good number of athletes who want to be good, and they realize that putting in the miles over the summer is the most critical factor that influences their success. So someone like Tim Smith, Tim has averaged about 70 miles a week for most of the summer. And that's a lot of running on a weekly basis. So he is doing that over the summer in addition to working and trying to live somewhat of a similar lifestyle that many people are. But it does take a lot of sacrifice because obviously if you're running that much, you can't do some other activities that some college students enjoy. We go through a preseason that lasts about 10 days. Basically, we bring them back about a week before the other freshmen move in. We are working out typically 2 times a day, a morning run and an afternoon exercise that may be an alternative form of exercise. Perhaps it is on the elliptical machine, or we're doing a core exercise routine, or we're doing some type of going from one station to another station so that they're getting their aerobic work in, but at the same time they're working with a med ball, or they are doing dips, or they're doing push-ups.
Sure.
So it's usually a run in the morning, some other form of exercise in the afternoon, and we're having meetings a third time. So that pretty much takes up our preseason. And then classes start, and as you mentioned, we had our first meet on August 31st, and typically the school that hosts the conference meet, if they don't have a normal scheduled meet at their place, they will have a preview meet which is on the same course, the same length as our conference championship. Eastern Mennonite hosts our meet on the 27th of October, so it was very important for us to go there and see what the course looks like. I guess to compare it to football, I sort of view this meet on August 31st like an exhibition game. And there were 10 schools there, or 11 schools there, and I think that 9 of the 11 ODAC teams were there to participate. And I use the word participate because they all had different goals in mind when they were there. Some schools ran it harder than others. Some it was obvious that they were running easy. I had ours running at a tempo effort, and so it was not an all-out performance. But I still wanted to be competitive. So the guys getting second, one of the teams behind us was Lynchburg, and they won the conference last year. Is that indicative of how good they are? Well, probably not. But still, putting 3 guys in the top 10, regardless of what they did, certainly shows that we have a competitive team.
Sure.
On the women's side, I noticed several schools really ran it harder. Eastern Mennonites women, for example, they have some very, very fast recruits, young ladies who are new to the school, and it was obvious from the start that they were pretty serious about making a good showing at their home invitational. And I'm pretty confident they will be one of the top teams in the conference. So I was pleased, but at the same time cautious about what conclusions to draw from that. But the good news is we did see the course. Our athletes know what's going to happen when we show up on October 27th, at least from the course, and know what challenges we face.
Sure. Now, the last question I've got for you is, this afternoon we had found out Tim Smith, ODAC Runner of the Week, for the run in the ODAC Preview Meet or the EMU Invitational, and Grace England, who was ODAC Rookie of the Year last year. And I see Grace running when I was setting up for soccer this past weekend, running around all over the place on her own. How important is it for the team to have people that are being shown on the conference level and on the national level for your team?
Well, I think freshmen that come in and younger athletes they are going to follow somebody's example. To have athletes who are running on that high a level shows that it does happen at Roanoke. It shows that hard work does pay off, and it gives them people to look up to.
Sure.
And even though some may say, well, they have more talent than me, but in terms of putting forth the effort, Tim ran more miles than everybody.
Sure.
In terms of on the women's side, Grace has some running-related injuries that prevent her from running heavy mileage, but she's also in the fitness center. She's on the elliptical many, many hours, and as a result, if you looked at minutes exercised, she would be our top person from that perspective. So, I hope that they view that as, hey, this is what hard work results with, and those two certainly are great examples of putting forth the hard work.
Sure. Well, Finn, we appreciate you coming on the show.
Well, good to talk with you, and thank you for having me.
The cross-country team will be running in the Generals Invitational at Washington Lee in Lexington, Virginia. I believe that starts at 10 a.m.
That's right.
On Saturday.
Yep.
So if you're out in the area, go check them out, and we'll be back in just one moment with women's soccer head coach Phil Binney. Stay with us.
Be sure to catch Roanoke College sports on Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7 in Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, Lexington, and Blacksburg. Brought to you by Mac and Bob's, Main Street, Salem. For programming information or schedules, go to valleyvisiontv.com.
Coach Phil Binney. Coach Binney, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Richmond.
Now you're starting to enter your 24th season here as head coach of the Roanoke women's soccer team and coming off a trip to the NCAA tournament last season. How important was the spot in the NCAA tournament, and what do you hope the returning players really learned from that experience?
Whenever you make it to the NCAA tournament, it's great for the program, great for the student athletes, and something to really hang your hat on. So for the program, it was awesome. For the returning players, they know what it takes to get there. So, if we could duplicate that effort and the process that we had last year, they know how to do it. And we're one game in the season,
sure.
and hopefully things are go the right way the rest of the way. And if we're fortunate, maybe be there again.
Sure. I was pulling for you to go far in the tournament, and especially pulling for you because you were going up against Center College, and they're big rivals of our school, and I was in college. So, but we're hoping that you get back to the NCAA tournament. Now, on Saturday, your team played a close game with Fredonia State, but lost in the final 6 minutes of the contest. What can the team really take away from that season opener that will really help them build on this season?
Yeah, the good thing, that's an out-of-region loss, losing 1-0. Positives, we were fit. I think that showed. I think the effort was there. We worked hard, and the intensity was there. But, it kind of what we've had to work on this week to get ready for, the tournament coming up. Getting off to a quicker start. The first 15 minutes we weren't after it, and also needless turnovers. We're trying to correct that, and then also just that final third. Finishing.
Sure. Now the second game you were supposed to play there was a lightning storm. We weren't able to play it. How much would that game have helped you prepare starting to get into the ODAC? Getting into ODAC play to kind of really fine-tune coming up.
Yeah, and as you know, that was another opportunity to win, and it was a South Region game, and I think it was a team that we could have competed very well against. So, now we're spending the whole week with the loss on our head, and it's kind of fortunately, as you know, we've scheduled Hollins tomorrow, and so it's an opportunity to bounce back and prepare us in another event before we go into the weekend.
Now, in the game against Fredonia State, the team led in almost every stat category. Stephanie Parenteau led the team with 4 shots, while a host of others had 2. Can you talk about some of the players on the team that could really make an impact this year?
Steph did a good job coming on in the final minutes, getting in and getting opportunities. Obviously, Carmen Graves, who we spoke to earlier, played a big part and will play a big part in the season. Maya Canner in the back, Carolyn Sarbacher in goal, and the rest of the seniors, and Rebecca Adams up top. So with 7 seniors, they're going to hopefully bring the team along and make us competitive day in, day out. And they're a good group, and the underclassmen, and we're excited about some of our freshmen. I'm not going to build them up too much yet, but I think we got some players that can make some impacts, and especially some of the freshmen. So I'm excited where we're at. We just need that first win.
Now, you said you're getting ready to play Hollins on Wednesday, and that's going to be at Hollins tomorrow. And then you're getting ready to head for the annual trip to the Schellenberger Classic up at Lynchburg, where you'll face Averett and Kenyon. What are your thoughts leading into those games, especially being non-conference games?
Yeah, definitely. They're 2 actually region games, so they're ones we got to win. We can't afford, to have a situation like against SUNY Fredonia. But it's interesting. I'll be facing one of my ex-assistants in the first time with against Coach Carley at Averett, so that'll be a neat experience first for me. And she's done a great job there. She's loaded the team up with a lot of foreign talent, and generally they're very savvy players. So we're going to have to really be focused. Good thing about playing Kenyon the next day. Actually, Coach Walters, who I coached against when she was playing at North Carolina Wesleyan, has done a great job there. They're going to be very organized. But the good thing about that, we're going to be able to see them on Saturday before we play them, so we'll be able to scout them and get a little more detail on them. Not a lot of information out on a lot of teams yet. We're calling coaches on Averett, and I think Coach Carley was definitely. I think she was here watching us this past weekend.
Well, good. Well, Coach, good luck tomorrow against Hollins, and that game's going to be at 5:30. Is that right?
5:30 tomorrow, yes, sir.
5:30 at Hollins. If you're in the area, go check them out. They'd be glad to have you cheer on the Maroons, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you, Richmond.
Thank you for joining us.
All right.
We'll be right back in just one moment with men's soccer head coach Scott Allison. Stay with us.
For information or schedules on Valley Vision TV programs, visit us on the internet at valleyvisiontv.com. Remember, you're watching the Valley's only true local network, Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7.
Mac and Bob's opened for business in 1980. Over the years, we've grown from 10 stools to a full-service restaurant that seats 330 people. Now we invite you to come try our new breakfast menu, featuring sweet potato pancakes, eggs Benedict, omelets made to order, stuffed French toast, homemade sausage and gravy biscuits, and much more. Open for breakfast Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m., Sunday brunch 10 a.m. till 2. See you for breakfast at Mac and Bob's in Salem.
Here at Mac and Bob's for Tuesday Night Live, and we're here with the Roanoke men's soccer head coach and athletic director, Scott Allison. Coach Allison, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Richmond. It's great to be here.
Now you're getting ready to start your 27th season as coach of the Roanoke men's soccer team, and you're now just 3 wins shy of the 300 wins mark. What does that milestone mean to you as you look back over the last 26 seasons and ahead into the 2012 season?
makes me feel old.
That's a tall order in the first question,
It
too.
makes me feel old. No, I mean, I've had a lot of fun getting to this mark, and I look forward to getting many more. Any good coach just surrounds himself with great players, and I've been very fortunate to be able to land those kids that have brought a lot of success to Roanoke College. So I'm proud to be a part of it all.
We like having some of your former players up in the booth with us doing color commentary. They always like to share a few stories with us, and so we're. If you're watching and you're an alumni and you're a former soccer player, come be a color commentator during men's soccer.
Oh, Aaron,
come
Donnie,
on the talk
Grayson,
show.
come on. Yeah.
Tell some stories. We love stories. We love to have you. So now you'll opened up with an impressive 6-1 victory over Gwinnett Mercy. 6 different players scored in that game, including a few getting their first career goal.
Mm-hmm.
The team seemed to mesh together really well in that contest. Seemed like passing was they were finding just open lanes to pass through. Everything was going well. Can you talk a little bit about the team dynamic and what made that game successful?
Well, the team dynamic is such that I think there's a lot of confidence. I do think they love the style of play that we have, and we've always tried to be a possession-oriented team. Although I think this year we probably spent more time on it on preseason and harped on it more than we have in the past. And I do think that's an important part of our game. And any good soccer player is going to want to play in that kind of environment, and that has given us a lot of confidence. That the team dynamic comes from having success doing that, and I think Saturday's game gave them some confidence, maybe a little bit too much, I guess, but I think that it's a good group. They love each other. I think they care for each other. They want things done in a professional manner, not professional in the purest sense, but professional in the sense that this is their time to give as much commitment as they possibly can in their athletic world, and they want to be professional about what they do this year. So it's a good group.
Now, in the past 2 years, your team has taken on a top 25 ranked team in the Roanoke Invitational. Last year, you defeated 18th ranked Emory 3-2, but you fell to Newman 2-0 on Sunday. How important is it to take on a quote unquote top ranked opponent early in the season? And what can the team really get out of the Newman contest?
There's two schools of thought. I mean, you always want to be able to measure yourself against some of the better teams out there. So I think it's great to always, in one of the first 2 weekends, if not both weekends, to be able to play against that group, so you truly get a measure of what you think you might be capable of doing and where your strengths and weaknesses lie. So I think it's important. I'm pleased that Newman was able to make the trip. Gwinnett and Mercy, a good bunch of kids. I don't think they're a bad side either. And we learned a lot about ourselves. We know we got to get better. And we wouldn't have known that if we hadn't had Sunday roll in.
Now you're getting ready to, we just talked to Coach Benny about it, but you're getting ready to head up to the Schellenberger Classic in Lynchburg. Can you talk a little bit about the teams you're going to see there and what kind of your expectation is to kind of finish those up right before you get into ODAC play?
Yeah, I think we'll play 2 quality sides this weekend, 2 very good teams. Greensboro College is coached by John Trice. John played at JMU and was the assistant at High Point before he took on the head coaching role at Greensboro. Greensboro's the kind of institution that's got a great soccer tradition. Soccer players like to go to Greensboro College and play, so they're always going to be strong. They went through a couple of years of not being as strong as they had been, but I think John Trice will do a great job there, and I anticipate a very good side with them. I know he's a great recruiter. He's got some good freshmen that are part of their group. Logan Poasa, who was an all-region player, left back, was playing left back this year, but was a left center back last year. He's as good as it gets at the Division III level, and I know they'll be a handful. I saw that Franklin and Marshall knocked off Oneonta, who made a deep run in the NCAA. Dan Wagner does a great job, too. So our hands are full this weekend. But, again, it's another measuring stick, as Brett would say, a lid lifter. And let's see what we got. So.
Now, because it's the first show of the year, I kind of have to ask you the typical athletic director questions as well. But we have some new faces here in the athletic office and new coaches, both head and assistant. Can you talk about kind of the new additions and what they have to offer the athletic program in Roanoke in general? I certainly know you have a new assistant coach as well.
Yeah. Well, whenever you hire new people, it's always an opportunity to grow. And you bring in people that have a different perspective, can bring in ideas from another institution, another administration that can help benefit your program. We've been blessed in Roanoke Soccer, when we were speaking specifically of the soccer program, to have Declan Cole join us. Declan is a Division I player, tremendous player, and somebody's had such a unique experience. His junior and senior seasons at West Virginia, he was a student assistant coach because he had blown out his knee, he couldn't play anymore. He's mature beyond his years, and he's been tremendous, and I think the kids really love what he brings to the table. And, we're looking at we're just looking at the rest of the staff, man. We're excited about Matt McGuire with the new baseball.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but he's just a great guy, and I think the kids are going to enjoy playing for him. I think they enjoyed Larry, and I think Matt's going to be in a position to take us further forward as well. And, it's brought a level of excitement, Richmond, that has been very healthy, and we're excited about this year.
Good. And if you have not seen our Facebook page, go to our Facebook page. See the video of Declan Cole in his he kind of had a
him and Travis Pittman doing the juggling contest. It's a great go. It's a great go.
It's an impressive video, and I talked to Declan between your all's games after the first game, and he just seems excited to be here as well.
Oh, I mean, he's a great guy. We enjoy each other's company, and I think that and that's always important with the head coach assistant coach relationship. He brings a lot to the table, and I'm pleased he's here.
Now, last year I asked you this question, and I think it still seems pertinent with new students coming on campus, and I think it resounded fairly well last year. But could you talk a little bit about Roanoke's athletic philosophy, and really just the importance of Division III athletics?
Well, I mean, we're at Roanoke College. We're a complement to the educational mission of Roanoke College. As coaches, purely we're educators. It's our job to teach young men and young women to learn to fight the battle and be a part of a group and work for the good of an organization. The people skills that we teach, the leadership skills, the follow skills that everybody has to endorse and embrace as employees and or team members are so important for us to harp on as head coaches. And it's upon us as head coaches to create cultures within our teams where young men and young women can grow to be responsible adults and contributing members of society, perhaps leaders in society. And we're all about the NCAA Division III experience. They're student athletes. They're students first. They're athletes second. But we certainly want it to be a close second. We don't want anything else to come in the way. And I think any of our athletes that play will echo that. I think that our coaches do a great job of sending that out. At the end of the day, we're proud of our success. We want to continue to have success. We realize that success is important. We're not going to sell the farm to be successful on the field. At the same time, we're going to position ourselves with resources. We're going to position ourselves with coaches. We're going to position ourselves with facilities where we can be in a hunt to win our handful of games so our student athletes can have a grand experience.
Sure. Well, Coach, good luck this weekend at the Schellenberger Classic.
Thanks, Richmond. Appreciate all you do for us. You're awesome.
They're going to take on Greenboro College at 4 p.m. on Saturday, and then they're going to take on Franklin and Marshall at 4 p.m. on Sunday. So, if you're in the Lynchburg area, stop by, cheer on the Maroons. And even if you thought we were finished, we're still not, because over here we've still got strength and conditioning coach Dave Sampson for workhorse of the week. So stay with us.
Be sure to catch Roanoke College sports on Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7 in Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, Lexington, and Blacksburg. Brought to you by Mac and Bob's, Main Street, Salem. For programming information or schedules, go to valleyvisiontv.com.
And we're back with the ever-popular Dave Sampson.
It's great to be back. I missed it all summer long.
I know, we missed you.
I'm happy to be here, ready to rev it up for the fall of 2012.
You've been a little busy here in the last little bit. New additions to the weight room.
Crazy additions. Just spending money like it was our job in there. I said over the past couple of years, we've dropped nearly $40,000 in the place, and really giving it a facelift. All new weights, all new bars, exercise balls, stability balls, the weighted balls, new cardio equipment. Coach A has really gotten on board and helped me out a lot, getting this stuff pushed through and approved. And I've heard nothing but good response from the students, the faculty, staff. It's been great. The place is really dressed up. It almost looks brand new.
It looks great. We did a little piece about it on the website with some pictures.
I saw that. That was crazy. When you guys did that, I was on vacation at the beach, and I got a couple of emails saying, "Wow, you're famous. You what's been going on?" I'm like, "What the world are they talking about?"
Some of the pictures we did take of you may have been a little too intimidating for the web. So
yeah, I haven't seen those yet. I saw the one on there, and I looked pretty subdued in that one. I was a little disturbed. I need the angry face and the aggressor in there.
When we start up with Workhorse of the Week in 2 weeks, we'll
can we rev that one back up?
We'll cycle in some new pictures for you.
I'd like a little sneak preview before that goes down, just as a courtesy. But yeah, I'm all for it.
Now we've talked to pretty much almost all of the head coaches about their preseason. And you have been kind of a big part of their preseason, getting them all ready to go.
Man, it's been a lot of fun. I've been all over the place with field hockey, volleyball, men's soccer, women's soccer. It's been really just tons of fun, real exciting. It's probably the toughest part for me about it is learning all the faces and names of the freshmen that come in. And it seems across the board this year on all the teams, there's a ton of freshmen, which is nice. It means we're strong right now. We're even better for the future. But, yeah, they've gotten a big dose of me over the past, 3 weeks, and I think some of them are happy about that, and some of them are still trying to figure it out, and some of them are not real happy about that, which makes me feel good inside. But
makes you know you're doing your job.
That's right. I had quite an aggressive session with men's soccer this afternoon. They had the day off yesterday, tough tournament playing, really tough games in the heat all weekend long this past weekend here. And we gave them the day off yesterday, and then we were back at it today. And they dealt with me for probably about 45 minutes today of really aggressive cardio and agility workout. And I was really proud of them. They did a great job. They got after it. Nobody held back anything, and I was happy for them. And we had a little chat after I finished my part, and I said, boys, this is what it's going to take all year long for us to get where we want to get.
Now, since, again, we're not doing Workhorses of the Week this week, so, again, if you're tuning in for that, you're still getting Sampson, so you can't complain.
I mean, right here, this is the moneymaker, right?
But you were at all of the men's and women's soccer games. What have you liked? What have you seen that you've liked so far?
The women are doing a much better job of getting the ball in the offensive half of the field. I saw them get off more shots in the one game. Unfortunately, they played. The second game was canceled, but in the one game they got off some great quality shots, had some good looks at the goal, and I believe they got some girls that can put the ball in the back of the net this year. And that's the whole objective.
Yeah.
So I feel really good about that. As far as the guys go, they're doing a phenomenal job of really possessing the ball and taking care of the ball, making the other team play defense, and then taking their opportunities after the other team's fatigued and getting some really good quality shots on goal. I'm really excited for both those teams. They're doing a great job. The field hockey team has a lot of new faces in there. They're in really good shape. They're working really hard. I think I look for them to improve on their record from last year, just because of the new faces in there. They're getting. I've watched them over the past couple of years, and they're more and more athletic each year, and I think that's a positive note for them. Again, we need to find some girls that can put the ball in the cage, and I know Coach Banks has worked hard on that. She's done a good job recruiting, and I'll look for a successful year for the field hockey team. The volleyball girls, again, a ton of new faces, and that's exciting. And we got some really good girls that have come back that are going to be mainstays on the court and doing a good job of getting the points for us on the volleyball court. So they're doing a great job and working hard. And I talked to Coach Trail, and the girls are really excited about their opportunities this year. And they got a big match tomorrow night against Lynchburg.
That's right.
Which we all know is kind of the close-by rival for a lot of the sports here at Roanoke.
Sure.
So that's going to be a first really big test for them. So I'm anxious. I'll be courtside with the girls tomorrow night, and I'm anxious to see what they do.
And we'll be courtside too. We're going to be broadcasting that here on maroons.roanoke.edu. Samson, thanks for coming on. I'm going to wrap it up while you'll stay.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. We'll have some workhorses of the week next time we get together. Exciting new look on the T-shirt. Those are already in-house, so we're anxiously awaiting that.
It's good.
Yeah.
Gonna have to maybe bring one on when you get a chance and show it off.
Oh, we're gonna put it right here over the front.
Yeah, we can drape it across.
Why wouldn't we?
It's your segment.
It is my segment.
Within reason.
I do what I want.
Within reason.
Within reason, I do what I want.
We're just gonna wrap it up right here. If you'll just stay on with us.
I'm right here.
All right.
Let's slap a wrap on this thing.
Women's soccer team just announced this afternoon the rescheduled match with Hollins tomorrow. That'll be at Hollins. That match has a 5:30 p.m. start. Also in action tomorrow, like we said, volleyball team who opens up ODAC play against Lynchburg in the Bass Center. That'll be at 6:30, and we'll have it here live on maroons.roanoke.edu. They'll also travel this weekend to play in the Greensboro College Invitational. They'll play 4 matches over Saturday and Sunday for the full schedule. Again, go to maroons.roanoke.edu. Really, if you need any information, go to maroons.roanoke.edu. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook. Anywhere you'd like to follow us, you can, within reason. On Saturday, the cross-country team returns to action as they run in the General Invitational at Washington Lee. That'll be at 10 a.m. again on Saturday. Finn Pincus was quite excited about that. And finally,
I was excited. I could hear that from over there.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
He is very excited about the season.
Big match down in Lex Vegas.
That's right.
Yeah.
And finally, the men's and women's soccer teams travel to Lynchburg to play in the Schellenberger Classic. On Saturday, the men will play Greensboro College at 4 p.m., while the women play Averett at 1:30 p.m. On Sunday, the women will play Kenyon College at 11 a.m., and the men will take on Franklin and Marshall at 4 p.m.
A lot of Maroon action this weekend. We got to come away. I think we got to do a better job in the victory column this weekend than we did last weekend.
I think they are in shape and ready to go.
I know they're in shape. We just got to get it done. We've already started. Now it's time to finish.
All right. Well, that is it for Tuesday Night Live tonight. For our technical director, Reed Hall, for our assistant athletic director, Brad Moore, for Brett Pelletier, I'm Richmond Bramblett, and
Dave Sampson, as always.
And we'll be back in 2 weeks right here on maroons.roanoke.edu.